Good morning and welcome to day 4 of Polar Explorers. And what is wrong with you?
Me?
Yes, you.
I'm giving you the cold shoulder. Do you not get it? You know, because that's my shoulder and it's cold because we're in the poles.
We don't have time to be frosty with each other.
Maybe I'll warm up to you later.
Warm up, that's a good start. Over to the warm up time.
Yourself off the ground, I said, young man, 'cause you're in a new town. There's no need to be unhappy, young man. There's a place you can go, I said, young man. When you're short on your dough, you can stay there, and I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the it's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, are you listening to me? I said, young man. What do you wanna be? I said, young man. You can make real your dreams, but you got to know this one thing. No man does it all by himself. I said, young man. Put your pride on the shelf and just go there to the YMCA. I'm sure they can help you today. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, I was once in your shoes. I said I was down and out with the blues. I felt no man cared if I were alive. I felt the whole world was so tired. That's when someone came up to me and said, young man, take a walk up the street. It's a place there called the YMCA. They can start you back on your way. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Young man, there's no need to feel down. Young man, pick yourself off the ground.
Well, did you get any of those cardboard footprints you were looking for?
You know, you're just not getting it, are you?
Don't think so.
It's not sticking with you.
Not at all.
It's carbon footprint.
Carbon footprints. So, like,
You know the one you have?
I don't have a carbon footprint. I drive everywhere.
There's no getting through to you, is there?
Look, you stick to what you're good at, and I'll stick to what I'm good at. Let's go out exploring today. So, do you know where you're going?
No.
Are you anywhere near what you think you would need to go to?
I have a compass, so I'll just follow it, I guess.
No, I mean, follow it to where?
Where I need to go.
Which is where?
I'll find it.
You won't find it. That's just crazy. What you need is a map. Okay? I will draw you a map, okay? We are here. Okay,
How do
see
you
where the
know?
snowflake is? Because I know, okay? I know these things.
Okay.
Okay? And we have to get to here.
There.
There. Okay, you follow the line down to here, and you'll get there. And I'll meet you there in half an hour.
I'm not getting there in half an hour.
You will, you will, you will.
Alright.
Good luck.
Off I go.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, hello. I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
Right. Dude, stop singing. I've told you so many
Where'd you come
times.
from?
I came from here. I knew you would get lost in my map.
But I was singing on my own, so you didn't hear.
Stop singing on your own. Stop dancing on your own. Stop acting on your own. Leave it to the professionals.
What am I allowed to do?
Over to the J Crew.
I can't help but feel a little down, a little worried when I look around. That's why my hope is in, my hope is in the Lord. I fix my eyes upon the God who gives, 'cause all I need is what I have in Him. That's why my hope is in, my hope is in the Lord. My hope is in the Lord. I belong to Him. He will never let me go. My hope is in the Lord. I can count on Him. My hope is in the Lord.
Do you know what time it is?
Probably story time.
It's story time with some random finds. Did I ever tell you about the time I went to Iceland?
No, but I'm gonna hear about it.
Yes, you are. Now, it wasn't Iceland like the shop where your mum goes. It's Iceland in Europe.
Actually, we go to Tesco's.
Okay. It's not time for that. Now, I was really looking forward to going on the trip. But then I heard this new guy was coming. And he was a bit of a baddie. He'd been to prison and all. And I was really scared he was going to mess up the trip. I didn't really want to talk to him. And I was a wee bit nervous. But I gave him a chance. And after a while, I found out he was actually a top bloke. He was really nice. He was good for everybody. And he made the trip so worthwhile. In fact, he's actually running a scheme where people who used to be in prison can go on and learn a wee bit about God. So, I was wrong. And you know what? It reminds me of a story in the Bible. Over to Michael and Holly.
Michael, who are you texting?
My friend Loki.
Who's Loki?
Loki from the Avengers. Thor's brother.
You're friends with Loki from the Avengers?
Yeah, I was showing him some of the Holy Bible Club from yesterday. Here, look.
Isn't Loki one of the bad guys?
No, he's a great guy. He might have been bad back in the day, but he saved them all in the end.
You know, that reminds me of another Bible story actually. Have you ever heard about Saul?
Is Saul his name?
Well, it's Paul now, but it was Saul.
Okay, explain.
So, there was this man named Saul, and he, unfortunately, was very bad. He did not like Christians, and he went around trying to arrest Christians and put them in jail for believing in Jesus. And one day, Saul decides he's going to go to a different city to try and do the same. In fact, Michael, I want you to imagine your Saul right now.
Am I a baddie?
For now, yes.
But I was such a good superhero.
Just roll with it. So, okay, set the scene. We're in a desert, we're on a road in a desert, okay? And Saul is just walking along, okay? And then all of a sudden, he hears this really loud voice. And it scares him. And then he's blinded.
Ow! What was that for?
Storytelling, okay? So, Saul hears this big voice from heaven and says, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And Saul doesn't really know what to say, does he? But then the big voice says to him again, Saul, I want you to get up and go into the city and tell them about me. So off Saul goes. But because of this amazing experience Saul realizes that Jesus is Lord, and he goes and he spreads the good news, and he ends up being one of the good guys. And then because he doesn't want people to think he's still bad, he becomes Paul.
I knew the story of Paul. Didn't really know the story about Saul. So Saul was a wee bit like Loki.
I guess
He
so.
realised his mistakes, said sorry, and then suddenly was one of the heroes. Some of us do make mistakes and make some really, really bad decisions. Yes, me included. A couple of years ago, I wouldn't have called myself a Christian. Okay, I was doing maybe some things that aren't the best in the world. However, God spoke to me, I became a Christian, and now I am in front of you guys trying to spread the good news. God doesn't just pick the best preachers or someone who's good at TikToks. I know that was a poor attempt, but I'm quite old, but I'm learning, okay? But he picks certain people who he knows can send a message in such a way that it resonates with somebody at home. That means that you guys at home will understand what I'm trying to say because of the way I'm doing it. I know I'm not perfect, and I know I am not the best person for doing this, but God trusts me to do this. You can be a really bad person, and people do live really bad lives. However, whenever they are truly sorry, God will forgive them. Now that doesn't just mean saying sorry. I know what you're thinking. There's times in school whenever you do something, you wind up your teacher and they shout at you and they're like, oh, I'm sorry. You don't mean that. That's just pointless. That means nothing. Whenever you are truly sorry and you can feel it and you actually regret what you did, that's when you're sorry, and that's when God will forgive us. That's when it does not matter how bad you've been in the past, God will forgive you. Just because you have a past doesn't mean you can't have a future. You can never make too many mistakes, and in fact, you can never be too bad to be part of God's big expedition.
C to the R to the AFT, to the T to the I to the M and D. It's craft time. Yo, yo, it's craft time. Let's go.
Five fun facts about polar bears. Polar bears use body language and vocal sounds to communicate with each other. When they're angry, they roar very loudly. When they want to play, they sway their heads from side to side. When they are stressed, they make chuffing sounds. And they growl deeply when they're defending food. A polar bear has many physical characteristics to help it survive. Who's this glamorous polar bear, I hear you ask? Well, it's so cool because they have black skin, and although their fur appears white, it's actually clear and reflective. Polar bears are amazing swimmers. They can swim very long distances, but they're not very fast, so they can't hunt for food on the way. They also have an incredible sense of smell. They can sniff out prey from up to 16 kilometres away. That's the same distance as Sprucefield McDonald's to Belfast. And finally, polar bears are made for a very cold climate. They have thick fur and a layer of fat called blubber to insulate them from the cold air and freezing water. That was 5 fun facts about polar bears. Hi everyone, welcome to Craft Time. Who wants P3s? You're up first, and today we'll be making polar bear crafts. So get your listening ears on and your craft fingers tingling. P1 to P3s, this is what you'll be making. You will need a template, a glue stick, some scissors, a pipe cleaner, some cotton wool, a toilet roll tube, and some googly eyes and a sequin. Step 1. Cut along the line on your template. Then take your glue stick and glue all the way along this rectangle. Now take your toilet roll tube and roll it along to stick the paper onto it. Now cut out the ears and mouth on your template. Stick this on to your now covered toilet roll tube. Next, take your googly eyes and stick them on. And take your sequin and stick it on the nose. Next, take some cotton wool and pull it apart a little to help it spread out. Stick this onto the tummy of your polar bear and also a little bit onto its ears. Now take your pipe cleaner and twist it around as a scarf. Your polar bear is complete. Right, P4 to P7, it's your turn now, and this is what we'll be making. A fishing polar bear on a wintry scene. Here's what you will need. A glue stick, a few colouring pencils, a normal pencil, a stick, some white paper, some scissors, some cotton wool, a tissue box, some tin foil, and some tissue paper, sellotape, and some string. Step 1. Place your box in the centre of the tin foil and fold inwards to cover the whole box in tin foil. Now take a pencil and across 2 sheets of white paper, draw a wiggly line to represent a mountainous background. Now take your scissors and cut along this line you have drawn. Now take your glue and glue these 2 parts together. Now it's time to draw your polar bear. Using a pencil, sketch the outline of the polar bear. Using your pencil, draw a fuzzy line around the outline to represent the bear's fur. If you have a white colouring pencil, you can colour in the bear. This will help it to stand out against the white background. Now draw on the eyes, the nose, the mouth, colour in the ears, give it some freckles and some rosy cheeks. Now glue the back of your polar bear and stick him into the middle of the mountainous background. Make sure to leave a little bit of space underneath the polar bear to leave room to glue on the next step. Glue the whole way along the bottom of the page. Now stick this around your covered box. Take your stick and bend it roughly a third of the way down. Make sure you don't break it off. Now take your string and tie a loop around the stick. Tie this in a knot. Now take a piece of paper and draw a little fish on it. You can colour this in and decorate this any way you like. Take your scissors and cut out your fish. Now stick your fish onto the end of the string. You now have a fishing rod. Now it's time to give your polar bear his fishing rod. Place it near his arm and using a bit of sellotape, stick it into place. Now take your tissue paper, scrunch it up and place it into the hole. This is going to act like water. Finally, take your cotton wool and spread it apart a little. Glue this all around your box to create even more of a wintry scene as the cotton wool acts like snow. If you have something really against polar bears, why not replace the polar bear with a penguin? Ta-da! Well done everyone, bye!
You know, I've something to tell you.
Uh-oh, what have you done wrong now?
See yesterday,
Yes,
when I was so confident that P4 to P7 was the right thing for me.
wasn't the right thing for you, was it?
Not even close.
Okay, just today you go back, try the P1 to P3 once, and all you guys at home, you just take a wee break and work through your worksheets, and we'll see you soon.
G'day, my name's Captain Carrot and I'm one of the leaders for this expedition. This game is called No Place Like Home. You know, this isn't going to be some nice way holiday off to Australia or anything. This is going to be a challenge that pushes you to your physical limits, and as a result you're going to need a fair bit of equipment. And so the aim of this game is very simple. I'm going to ask you to bring me an item and you're going to have to bring it to me as quickly as you possibly can. So as I said, you know, this is going to be some nice wee holiday off somewhere. This is going to be, you know, it's going to be cold, it's going to be harsh conditions. You're going to need to stay warm. So the first item I want you to bring me as quick as you possibly can is a coat. Now, if your head stays warm, you stay in the game. So the second item I want you to bring me is a hat. Oh man, I reckon my hands are going to be a bit cold out here. So the third thing I want you to bring me as quick as you possibly can is a pair of gloves. Where? Now, as I said, the conditions are going to be cold, you know, minus 20 degrees, there'll be fierce winds, there'll be everything, there'll be snow, there'll be ice. But obviously, especially if you have ginger hair like me, you can't be taking any chances really. So the fourth item I want you to bring me is some sun cream. Now there's going to be a lot of walking on this trip, and as a friend of mine once said, hydration is the key to good working muscles. So the fifth item I want you to bring me is a water bottle. Now there's going to be times on this trip where we're going to feel lost, or we're going to feel the need of guidance, of direction, of some sort of help. And thankfully we've got the ultimate guidebook here. So the sixth item I want you to bring me is the Bible. Come on, let's go. Get it quickly. Now there's going to be times on this trip where we're going to be hungry, we're going to need something, some fuel to keep us going. And so the seventh item I want you to bring me is some baked beans. Yeah. So the next item I want you to bring me will be particularly useful if you've eaten too many of those baked beans. And it is some toilet roll. Alright, go along. So what are we going to do if we climb to the top of a mountain? You know, how are we going to mark it and say, yeah, we've done this? We're going to need some sort of marker, some sort of flag. And so the next item I want you to bring me that we can use as our flag is a green sock. Now, I don't know how easy it's going to be to sleep out here, but there's always one thing that helps. And so the 10th item I want you to bring me is your favourite teddy. This is Sammy. Hello. 3, 2, Now, many animals are attracted to smell, but one thing they will not be smelling is bad breath, because the second last item I want you to bring me is a toothbrush. 3, 2, I think it would be quite helpful if other people wanted to do this expedition, if they knew what they were doing. It'd also be good for us to write down some stuff so that we remember our expedition. So the last thing that I want you to bring me as quick as you possibly can is a notebook and pen. 3, 2, So that is all from today's game. I hope you enjoyed it. You now got all the stuff you need to get ready for this polar expedition so that you will not only survive in this environment, but you'll thrive in it. It's been an honour and a privilege helping you to get these things, and good luck. Captain Carrot, over and out.
So, just heard the story.
Yep.
Do you know what time it is?
Of Question time with bare feet.
You're not wrong there. So the first question I have, well, I just need to clarify this really.
See if I got a point for every time you ask a question. I could buy someone else to come and do this instead of me.
True, but we're gonna go with it anyway.
Right.
So Saul,
Yes.
pretty bad guy,
Yeah, he was.
but he learned from his mistakes and he changed.
He did learn from his mistakes, yeah.
And for that, God accepted him and brought him into part of his team to do work for God.
He did indeed.
So what I'm getting is, no matter how many bad things you do, as long as you're willing to accept that you did them wrong and you ask for forgiveness, God is always going to accept you.
Absolutely. You can never be too bad to be part of God's amazing expedition.
You know, it does make sense, but, like, what does it mean for you and me, for everybody else now? Like, how do we relate this?
Do you know what? Got somebody for that. We're going to hand over to Rachel Armstrong. She's going to share a story about someone who used to be very bad, but then got God into their life and changed for the good.
Hi guys, my name is Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you the story of Nicky Cruz. So Nicky Cruz was a guy who lived in Puerto Rico, which is in America, and he lived there with his parents. But his parents weren't very nice to him. They didn't look after him properly. So they shouted at him, they called him names, and they just told him that he wasn't good enough. The area where they lived in Puerto Rico wasn't a very nice place, and Nicky Cruz was always getting into trouble. When he was 15 years old, his parents decided to send him to New York to live with his older brother. Maybe some of you have actually been to New York, and if you have, you'll know it is a huge, huge city. One day, Nicky decided to run away and live on the street. But to be on your own in such a massive city must have been so scary. He then became a member of a group or a gang that did really bad things, and Nicky quickly became their leader. A while later, Nicky met this guy David Wilkerson. Now David Wilkerson, he was a preacher. He was someone who spent their life sharing the good news and Jesus' love in areas that didn't have that much money. Nicky met this guy David when he came to visit their neighbourhood where he lived. David told him Jesus loved him and would never stop loving him. But Nicky refused to listen. David tried again and again and again, but Nicky didn't want to know. A while passed and David decided to organise a meeting with the gang. It was held in a big arena, and Nicky said when he walked in he felt guilty about all the bad things he had done in the past and started to pray. David noticed this and offered to pray with him, and together Nicky asked God to forgive him. Many of the other gang leaders, they followed his example, and after this they returned all the weapons that they had used in the past, and the police were so shocked. Nicky Cruz turned his life around so quick, and he began to study the Bible, and he went to Bible college to become a preacher like David. He spread the good news in the very same neighbourhood where he used to live. Maybe some of you have friends that don't go to church or have maybe never heard of Jesus, but it's our job to encourage and invite them to be part of the church. They may turn you down at first like Nicky Cruz did, but we have to be like David and persevere, because you never know what your determination could do for someone else.
So, we've heard both.
See if you say one more time that you don't know what this verse is.
So it's a verse. I know I need to remember it, but I don't remember what it's called.
Okay. Today's the day you're going to learn it. I'm certain of that, because we've got something fantastic with the memory verse. Back over to Rachel Armstrong.
Hey guys, I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to be teaching you the memory verse. So the memory verse that we're learning this week is from Ephesians 6:15, and it's wear shoes that are able to speed you on as you preach the good news of peace with God. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, how did she learn that? But this is where I am going to bring in my shoes and my Bible. So we're going to do a couple of actions that are going to help you to learn it, and I'm going to go through it word by word and we're going to learn it together. Okay, so for the first two words we're going to use our shoes. So wear shoes that are able to, and then for speed we're going to pretend we're running a race. So wear shoes that are able to speed you on. Right, okay, so we'll do that again. Wear shoes that are able to speed you on as you preach the good news. Okay, so we'll do that again. Wear shoes that are able to speed you on as you preach the good news. And then the last bit, of peace with God. Okay, so we'll do that from the start then. Wear shoes that are able to speed you on as you preach the good news of peace with God. Ephesians, and then for 6 we're going to do 6:15. So for 15 we're going to do a double high five and then a wee single one. So we'll do that from the top. Wear shoes that are able to speed you on as you preach the good news of peace with God. Ephesians 6:15. Okay, so we'll do that again and we'll try and do it fairly quick. Okay, ready? Wear shoes that are able to speed you on as you preach the good news of peace with God. Ephesians 6:15. And then for the final time we're going to do it really, really quick. Ready? Wear shoes that are able to speed you on as you preach the good news of peace with God. Ephesians 6:15.
We're coming up to my most favourite part of the week. It is the drama team's time.
Where do you even get that? Like BBC?
No.
Is it even Sky?
No.
Netflix?
Not yet.
Amazon?
Never.
What? Where is it?
There is only one place you can catch that, and that is on Holiday Bible Club 2020 Polar Explorers. So please enjoy.
That Swedish store was amazing. So much stuff.
I know, I got great new skis and a snowboard.
And so many meatballs.
I'm so glad that they had these snow goggles. The bright sun reflecting off the snow is really bright.
I know, where has the sun gone to? Like, it was such a clear blue sky like a minute ago.
The weather is like so changeable. You have to be prepared for anything.
Well, after all those meatballs, I'm ready for a nap.
I feel like we should take a break because we've been walking for hours now.
Well, I can't believe our expedition is finally going to plan after polar bears eating all of our food and the equipment falling down a crevice. I thought we were done for.
I know, it has been pretty dangerous, but I'm Helen Helter-Skelter. I laugh at the face of danger. Ha 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 ha!
Social distancing much? Great Scott, are you okay? You haven't said much since we left the Swedish store.
I'm fine.
Are you okay? What's wrong with your eyes?
Yeah, I'm fine. There's just snow in my eyes.
Time for a snack?
Yes, please. I'm going to send a massive thank you card to your mum. That birthday banquet, it saved our lives.
Scott, are you sure you're okay?
Yes, just shut up, you stupid woman.
All right, Scott, keep it calm.
Scott, what's wrong?
Are you okay?
My eyes hurt. They hurt so much.
Scott, were you wearing your snow goggles earlier?
No.
Why? What would it matter if we did?
He's got photokeratitis.
Photo who?
Kara what?
Snow blindness. It's when the bright sun reflecting off the snow damages your eyes It's like sunburn, but in your eyes. Ouch. Quick, you need your snow goggles.
What is that?
That's a fake mustache. I knew it.
HQ to Paul McSmall. Come in, Paul McSmall.
What? Impossible. How do you know?
Who's Paul McSmall?
Chief, I don't think you have the right expedition team. We don't have a Paul.
Yes, Fang. We've discovered that Great Scott isn't who he says he is. He's in fact Paul McSmall, an explorer who I turned down for a place at Polar Explorers.
So he's not the Great Scott?
You're an imposter? And I shared my birthday banquet with you.
Chief, is that you? How do you know?
Because the real Great Scott is sitting here, drinking hot chocolate with me.
But why?
We're not sure why, but another of our expedition teams found all your food at the bottom of the cliff, and when you told us that you'd lost your equipment too, we began to get suspicious.
You threw our food off the cliff.
What? You mean you didn't get attacked by a giant polar bear during a sponsored silence?
Why did you do it, Paul?
Well, the chief just flat out turned me down. Didn't even give me a chance. So I came here to try and ruin everything.
But that's not true, is it, Paul? We would have given you a place, but you were too proud and mean to work with others. You wanted all the glory for yourself. If we'd given you a place, you could have put all your team in danger. And you have done that. Faye, Larry and Helen could have been killed.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I even blinded myself because I was too proud to listen to Faye's instructions.
You'll be better in a day or so. Faye should know what to do to help you get better. Paul, you're out there in the frozen wilderness, and if you don't change your ways, you could die. You need to work with others to get the message to the professor. Can you do that, Paul?
Yes, I can.
Paul, you're going to have to rely on the others until you get better. Look after him, Fang. I have a feeling he may have learnt his lesson.
Will do, Chief. Okay, team. I think we should set camp over there. There's some protection from wind and snow. Come on.
Who would have thought it? An imposter in our midst.
I think it's that time of the day again.
Oh, what time of the day?
It's the time the South Pole get back on level terms.
No chance. Yesterday was just to make it interesting. Today is the day the North Pole are crowned champions of the poles.
In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are my light, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness. I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore.
You're a miracle, that's right. Made to glow in the image of Christ. You're original, it's true. Don't you know he's got a plan for you? You have a song to shout. Let's sing it loud. I'm a VIP, all because the one and only G.O.D. lives in me. Gonna shine like a star, 'cause I know in my heart I'm a child of the King. I'm a VIP, no, there's never gonna be another me in the world. Gonna shine like a star, 'cause I know in my heart I'm a child of the King. I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP. All the world is your stage. Take a dive, take a leap of faith. On a mission to touch every heart, every soul with love. You have a song to shout. Let's sing it loud. I'm a VIP, all because the one and only G.O.D. lives in me. Gonna shine like a star, 'cause I know in my heart I'm a child of the King. I'm a VIP, no, there's never gonna be another me in the world. Gonna shine like a star, 'cause I know in my heart I'm a child of the King. a very important person. I believe that God is calling me. He's calling me a very important person. I'm a very important person. I'm a very important person. I believe that God is calling me. He's calling me a VIP. VIP. I'm a VIP, all because the one and only God lives in me. Gonna shine like a star, 'cause I know in my heart I'm a child of the King. I'm a VIP, no, there's never gonna be another me in the world. Gonna shine like a star, 'cause I know in my heart I'm a child of the King. I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP.
Well, it is that time again. It is home time. Well, home time for us. Just same time for you.
I am kind of tired.
I'm kind of tired too. This is 100 hours of shooting we've been doing for this.
It's felt like it, to be fair.
That's getting there. Well, I hope you've had a great day today, and I hope you can remember that you could never be too bad to be part of God's great expedition. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Ciao.